What's going on, everybody? Shout out Travis. Travis starting to Great One Wolf soon. I think, okay, so I'm going to basically try, when I say dual grind in here, what I'm going to try to do is, and man, I really hope this works. I'm hoping what we can do is do a run through of mule deer and then change time to wolf, hunt the same need zones that my mule deer zones are at, conveniently. And then by the time we're done doing the wolf run through, the mule deer have respawned and we just rinse and repeat. And then next thing you know, we've got two great ones on the map. Sounds great on paper. I don't know if it's doable time-wise. We'll see what a legitimate run through would look like. And what I'm also worried about is whenever we change time, there's going to be a high probability that regardless of what zone we fast travel back to, there's going to be wolves at or near it. And that could be a problem down the line. I don't know. We'll see. I'll say this, though. When I was shooting wolves last night, that was a ton of fun. I know the fox grind really kind of got me somewhat used to hunting at night. It's not the worst thing in the world, and especially in ASCII Ridge when you're looking for wolves. I bet Medved would be a banger map for the gray wolf too. I actually kind of struggled the other night on Yukon. I mean, I was finding wolves, but I wasn't like, it wasn't like ASCII or it wasn't like Medved. I've got way too much hunting pressure at that zone, man. I need to clear it out. No, dude, I'm just shooting them. I mean, if there's like a small wolf, if I have like a level 4 or something, I probably won't, just because I'm doing a passive herd management. I'm going to hyper focus on it by no means. I'm hoping because wolves are a predator species, it's slightly easier as far as the grind goes. Mule deer and most other things too are kind of finicky, especially when it comes to herd management. We'll see. I mean, I've not even discovered all of my... this is kind of like a double experiment. One, to see if we can actually do run-throughs to where I gotta change time again. Do run-throughs to where I can, you know, get mule deer and wolves at the same time, or the same run-throughs. Or if, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it managing herd wolves. We'll see. We'll see what this grind looks like. I'm not as focused on the wolves. That said, I mean, I shot enough wolves that, I mean, spawned a rare off of it right off the bat. We'll see. I'm not going to get hyper serious. Not until this mule deer. I've been at this for months now, and this darn mule deer just will not spawn. I could be wrong on this, but I'm going to hypothesize that because wolves are scored kind of, not really scored, but you know, their rating system works kind of like red deer do. They go all the way up to 9 legendary. You want to shoot 5s and bigger. But now in my experience, like, I would actually start and you've probably got enough herds with enough big animals, I would shoot 6s and above. And then once you have nothing but 5s, I'd shoot those down. 5s and, you know, go from there. I need to put a tripod back up here, but this mountain's kind of precarious for one. I wonder if 375's got enough oomph to punch through that neck into something important. I hope it does. Did not see that guy there. Okay, well, crud. Alright, so one of these guys is a solo. Either that 4 is or this guy is, because there's only 2 mule deer here, and my last run through, there was 2 2s here, and I shot one of them. That's what makes mule deer kind of annoying, but at this point it's so frequent, and they jump through all my zones that I have anyway. I'm not too worried about shooting them. Hunting pressure worries me, though. That's the downside to wolves. You can get a little carried away. Yeah. Correctamundo. Man, I really want to play around with the feeders, but it seems like it's more for like a I don't know. It seems like it could be useful, but it seems like it takes a lot of time to kind of like, you gotta like, yeah. Real similar. And whenever I switch over to wolves, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I am too. Did I shoot a female? I sure did. I hope it was bad enough that she'll survive it. Fingers crossed. Hang on. Ah, he's kind of angling away. I need to shoot him. He's probably what's keeping me from getting fives right now. Level 2, but he's actually got the same weight estimate as a level 3, so the game thinks he's a level 3. He needs to die. Seven millimeter, pound for pound, is still just, in my opinion, the best rifle in the game. I mean, sure, had we been using 30-06, we would have made a heart shot with that, but it did the job. And if there was a bison standing next to it, I could have just immediately shot it with this thing. It would have been full score. I have one weird complaint about the 7mm Malmar, and it's the sound it makes. Wish it was deeper and snappier. Sounds hollow and clanky in my opinion. This is that dough. That was a visual representation, ladies and gentlemen, of what not to do. Just helping everybody out here in chat. So when I say don't shoot females, that's what I mean right there. That looks like a Troll Rack 5. Nope, he's just a big 4. Alright, so I can tell I got another bigger mule deer back there. Really hopeful that I can get angled on the other guy here. I exaggerated it. The bullet velocity on the 375 is a little bit faster than that. Well, that's for the process of herd management. You don't stacking dimes won't do anything outside of make your deer smaller, and that's kind of the intent and purpose of it. So when you're trying to get your exterior zones shot down, I would definitely leave, like, especially in the early days of your grind, if you get a dime off rip, I'd leave it and then go to your exterior zones. But that said, with wolves, it is definitely different because they're predators. They don't follow the same kind of routines that all the other species do. So that information not be that valid. I've never set up on wolves. I've never tried to grind wolves. My only encounters and diamonds and rares of wolves I've only gotten were out there just literally running into them when they were attacking me, or, you know, seeing them off in the distance. So truthfully, this will be my first experience like setting up and grinding them. But with fox, I think they're going to behave somewhat similarly, outside of, I don't think you need to shoot the entire herd for them to all respawn. So that's good. That said, trying to herd manage fox are literally impossible. Like, just because you have to wipe them. But with wolves, it may actually come down to swapping, not necessarily herd management, because it's going to be kind of almost fixed in a sense. You've probably got a few diamond wolves on your map. You might spawn in a couple. And then you try to kind of like swap different, you know, groups out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. All right, so I'll kind of like walk you through what I'm doing with my grind right now. I'm not sure. I need to change time. So I've got I don't know, 10 zones. So I've got this I kind of experiment too and try to see what my herd management does. Like these deer, I think one of these are gonna have to die because I haven't seen a 5 in a hot second, and I think maybe this is the reason why. So I've got this zone. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm shooting 6 zones, but this zone actually has 2 different herds of mule deer that I'm shooting from. This zone has 2 different herds that I'm shooting from. And so I'm actually shooting like 8 to 12 mule deer per run through. So those are my main zones. Those are my shooter zones, right? These are the zones where, you know, I want my 5s. This is where I want my big deer. But my exterior zones, so you can see, like, we got little lakes and stuff. We got areas where there's definitely mule deer at. Like you can see there, I've got a mule deer zone. There's several here. And that's why it's important to find all your zones, because you need to know what's going on with them. Now the reasons these are my main zones, because they've got the best herds. You know, a lot of these areas that have mule deer intentionally too, like where'd it go? This lake right here, this has got a mule deer herd at it, but I don't worry about it because it's got level 1s in it, and I don't shoot them. I don't worry about them because they're not going to respawn. They're not going to swap out because I found all my zones. And I got lucky and I don't have to worry about that zone. That said, this zone is an exterior zone, and I've got a tent set up over here because I have to shoot solos that pop up over here frequently enough that I might as well, you know, add it in. But you want all the zones that you're not actively shooting that have the animal that you're in or that you're hunting. You want these guys to be small. So that's why it's important to stack up. So like, let's say, you know, if, you know, I've got a 5 medium, I've got a dime mule deer here, dime mule deer here, dime mule deer here, dime mule deer. I think you can only have like 5 at a time. I don't know. But you kind of get the point. That's going to force. So now the dime slots are locked up. The max weight slots are locked up. That's going to force the level 1s and 2s to spawn at this lake and everywhere else except for your main zones. And that's kind of what herd management is. Takes a long time. It's not an overnight process. Like, it'll take you a hot minute because you've actually got to shoot through, and like, it's going to get frustrating because you're going to have solos that come back as dimes, and then you got to shoot them, and then you got to go refine where they spawn at and make sure they didn't come back as a great one or another diamond, you know, and it's a process. But once it's like locked in, it's pretty fun. But doing things like what I did, shoot that female, it can throw off herd management, and that's not good. That being said, though, speaking in technical terms, you don't need to herd manage to get a great one either. So, at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't sweat it too much. Will it take longer? Anecdotally, yes. I shot 2 pheasants, though, then my great one pheasant spawned, so, I mean, I don't know. My great one whitetail took 6,000 kills. My great one moose took 600. No, don't shoot level 1s. Now, that said, depending on the species, sometimes there can be little tricksters. So you can see I'm leaving, for the most part, as many as I can. My level 2s, 105 to 140s, right? I don't think I have any level 1s. That said, this 70 to 105, that's what a level 1 male mule deer should weigh. And you know, if that level 2, for example, weighed, well, that's when you got to look at weight. If it weighed 145 to 175, I'd be like, oh, that's an imposter level 2. Boom, and shoot him. So pay attention to that. If it's the minimum weight, make sure it's the real minimum weight. That's only for getting hyper technical, though. I would start sloppy first, start it slow. The best grinds are when your great one spawns during... Oh, don't you do it. Don't you stop right in front of him. When you're actually in the act of herd managing. And just spawns. Yep, leave level 1s alive, basically. Now that said, flip side, this is more of like the in-game grind mindset. Minimum weight, level 1 males, those are actually just as rare as diamonds. In fact, they're probably a little bit, I would argue they're actually more rare than diamonds. They're not quite super rare. They're like, I don't know what the intermediary between super rare and diamond would be, but that's what I would call a wall of shame, you know, worthy animal being. Wall of shame for me is a joke because, yeah, they're tiny, but at the same time, they're so rare that it's like, oh, this doesn't happen too often. All right, so that's a run through of muleys. Now what I'm going to do is actually, before I'm going to check this and make sure there's nothing big over here. And then I'll probably change time here for wolf drink time. and see what's going on. Notice how I left that 5. There he is. Or he actually fell in the water and started floating across. Bulls are worth so much money. I definitely need to get my tripod set up in here. mean, the patience worked out. Got the one I wanted. Wish I could have got another one. I'm gonna go back, equip a tripod, and try to set it up to where I can actually see them when they're down there. And for my mule deer. Beavers keep destroying it though, it's quite annoying. Here's the problem. Maybe? Gonna have to be good enough. Alright, we're going back to War Daddy here, the M1. I wish I would have spotted the 8, but I'd rather shoot the 5 than none at all. Three-weight parry is pretty slick with it too, and I have a feeling it's going to be pretty gnarly against wolves. 30-06 though does that. This zone must have dipped out because I've not seen this, guys, for a hot minute, but it shows Grey Wolf being here. 1 minute trick, perhaps? Oh, I just wasted money right there. Alright, one wolf will pay for it. Man, I could have swore I shot that dude right in the face. I did hit him. I'm live. Man, depending, we found out the hard way the other night with wolves, depending on where you hit it at. If I don't see his health drop anytime soon, might just have to assume that we didn't kill him. ASCII Ridge. Maybe we'll get lucky and find him, get him aggressive. Yukon's a banger. This is where using a 300 comes in handy because you don't have to worry about problems like this. FPS. It is not a vital anymore. Well, I made some mule deer go inside the forever box. And then I decided to blow the ears off of a gray wolf, and now that they have great ones, I have to chase it down across this mountainside. I think he lived. I mean, rares are rare, you know? Yeah, that's insane FPS. Congrats on that. Where did this guy end up at? He's yelping at me. There he is. Give him the old Texas heart shot. Guess the hunting pressure wouldn't appear there, huh? Don't tell me I missed that shot. Got him in the leg bone. Well, that would only work if you did it immediately, FPS. The fact that he had been alive that long, if I changed time, it would have actually killed him, and then no great one. Oh yeah, it's still a rare. That's, you know, those are trophy, or the you know, metal snobs, depending on what the situation. Yeah, rares are rare. And honestly, in my opinion, especially when it comes down to the enjoyment of this game, if somehow that disqualifies a rare of being a rare, if you ruin the shot, then that whoever thinks that way, you probably shouldn't be associated with, you know? All right, we've got 3 females out there that I see. We care about hunting pressure at this lake. Okay, that's a little 4. I'm actually going to leave that guy alive. All right, well, now's kind of the moment of truth. I'm going to go to this outpost, change time to mule deer during time, and see what happens. Money. And a lot of, you'll go broke if you're using the 300, especially if you're just starting out and have no money. You'll go broke if you're grinding whitetail, for example, using the 300. So money's part of the issue. That I am probably going to pull the 300 out specifically for muleys. Mule deer, you can make money, just don't miss. Nobody ever talks about how expensive it is to Great One grind. It's expensive. Depending on what you're grinding, I should say. Now, like wolf grind, insane money. Red deer grind, insane money. Whitetail grind, no money. Fallow, meh, money. If you're shooting mule deer, it's meh money too. Bordering, I would argue, probably losing money. Well, really, it comes down to what you're grinding, I think. Now, that said, flip side, you know, if money is an issue, that's where, well, 7mm becomes your friend, and then mule deer become a pretty paycheck. Shot him the first time in the legs. Blew his ankles off. Oh yeah, that's another one. Moose, you'll go broke. Moose are even because honestly too, if you're using a smaller gun, boy. Bear's a good money grind. The most insane money though comes from changing time. You do it enough in a hunting session, man, you can drop 50 grand fast. $2,500 a pop. I need to use the restroom, folks. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. So far, what's really cool is all of my mule deer have been here. They've just been hanging out, doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I've not backed out yet, so that's cool. These guys are a little wonky. Now, this is where I could main menu, come back in, or, you know, it's faster change time. And there goes 1,800 bucks. You want to know a grind that actually makes an insane amount of money and you wouldn't realize it? Ducks and geese. They're only worth like 350 bucks, but when you're shooting hundreds of them, that adds up fast. And it's insanely fun. Shotgun ammo's cheap. Alright, what's the catch? I don't see any big mule deer. Did we have another level 1 spawn? Guys, a level 2, level 2. That's a suspicious level 1, but I kind of want to leave him alive. And man, now here's the thing. Here's the ultimate catch. I don't know if, tell you what, I'm going to go to my next zone. If those guys are respawned, then that tells me that I need to shoot one of those level 2s. There you go, man. Oh yeah, I just saw that. You got your hunting license. Nice. Yes, you can. These dudes are here when they shouldn't be. Now, when you're hunting when you're great when grinding a species like mule deer, like when this situation occurs, this is where you're going to have to spend money to change time. Or, you know, I guess you could try to back out and hope that resolves the issue, but those wolves are annoying, but every map that's got mule deer has some type of predator species that will spook them. Yeah, when I say like shoot 100 birds, that may sound like a lot, but like once you get down how to shoot ducks, like shooting 100 ducks in a sit down sesh, man, it ain't nothing. Right on, FPS. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Well, in this instance, looking like we're gonna have to back out here. Make sure there's no bigger deer here this time. If there isn't, like I said, probably going to shoot that level 2. Move right along. Hopefully that worked. If not, I'll simply change time and spend more money. Yes, Kennedy, I am. And now we're stuck in tent. There we go. So once I complete this mule deer run through, I'll simply switch time over to wolf drink time. Do the same thing. Rinse, repeat. Fingers crossed it does something. Now, I haven't heard, like, I haven't looked for wolves whatsoever. These are just the zones that are at my mule deer zones, and it just happens to work out. And I don't know, we'll see. Alright, well, I don't see any big boys here. I think I'm going to pop it too. That was actually probably a little low. Oh man, Hunter Call of the Wild. So no joke, and this is in all honesty, folks. And Call of the Wild is the only game. Well, outside of maybe PUBG. Call of the Wild is the only game I play. Everything else that I actually play, I play on PC. But because I stream and stuff, like performance wise, for just the stream quality and like game quality, like the Series X performance is insane for Call of the Wild. And despite what the recommended specs say on the website, Call of the Wild's a very demanding game. Especially if you're wanting to run it like Ultra. Beautiful though. That said, the graphic wise, it's really like, I don't know. I would argue that it's not actually that different between Xbox and PC. The biggest difference would be probably the length of grass and the lighting. Does the 1S have 60 FPS? Because legitimately back in the day, I didn't have a computer that at the time could like simultaneously stream and play Call of the Wild. Like I could, but like, I don't know, it was full on potato mode, you know? And the experience wasn't that great. Now I have a PC that can do it, but I have years invested into this, and at this point, man, I don't know. I like the game on console. Are there improvements? Now, would I add... I wish they would add mouse and keyboard support. That'd be lit. That said, in comparison to PC, again, this isn't an Xbox first PC thing, because, you know, I'm PC master race all day, every day. This game runs way better on console than it, or at least on Xbox, than it does on PC. Doesn't matter how good your PC is, the game crashes constantly on PC. Cheating's rampant. Nah, there's no real tier system. The 1S will gets you access to everything. Really, you're not, outside of maybe, depending on what game you're playing, some horsepower. I'll say this, outside of access to games, I'm unsure of true quality difference, because I'll be honest with you guys, and now the jump from 60 FPS to 120 FPS is absolutely noticeable, but the jump from 40 FPS to 60 FPS, depending on what you're doing, it's hard to notice, you know? And that's kind of like the big misconception. Everybody thinks nowadays they've got to have 200 FPS to have fun with it. Not true at all. And just having the butter smooth 60 FPS experience that I've had on the Series X for Call of the Wild, it's very impressive. Because even with my PC, like, it runs butter smooth, man, but every once in a while, you know, it'll do the PC thing where there's like, it's got a load of shader or something, and like there's just a weird hiccup. Most people wouldn't notice that stuff, but I don't know. I notice it, and so I'm like, I can't unsee it. I don't know why I shot him with the M1. He's gonna go down. We killed him. But he's gonna run. I know, that's not embarrassing. Now, that being said, comparing it, now if we're talking Xbox One S, so we're talking OG Xbox One, right? and you're getting to the Series X. I'll say this, you're jumping from a 1S to a Series X. Forget everything I said. Your mind's going to be blown. Whenever you see how fast the Series X loads, you're probably gonna cry. But oh yeah, change time, which is annoying because I don't have to change time again for wolves. Actually, you know what you should do for funsies? Once I finish this run through, what I could do, just to show, I'm gonna hard reset the Xbox while I go to the restroom again, and it'll be done probably before I am. That's a hard reset. And graphically, your mind's gonna be blown. You're gonna be like, the game looks like this. I mean, I'm live right now on YouTube, so it's getting even more compressed. I'm streaming at 1080p 60 FPS, but it's getting compressed down to who knows what. Do not be fooled. I actually need to upgrade my capture card so I can go like full blown like 1440, you know, 120. Actually, I don't think it's still 60 FPS on console, but still. My capture card's very old by today's standards. Alright, so I don't ruin anything. I'm going to main menu, and then we're going to do the hard reset thingy. Alright. So luckily on, I don't know, maybe the UI you can do this on the 1S now. But I'm going to actually hard reset console just like this, and I'll be right back. Called it. Keep in mind, that's the same as unplugging your Xbox, right? Plugging the cord back in and then turning your Xbox on. Now watch this. I'm going to incorrectly enter my password. And we're playing the game. Also, like games like Oblivion, I think, are a better experience. I don't know. There's a lot of games I do like on console. Oof. Time changes are 25 hundo right now. Brutal. Alright, let's go see if there's any canines down here that are 10 fabled. Got 4 6s. Got him. That was really risky, honestly. If this zone's got so much hunting pressure at it, I need to get rid of that. Howdy, howdy. Dome rock that guy. Pretty sure I shot a third. Yeah, he's tracking blood. Man, I wish. I'm closing in real close 3,000 on my mule deer grind. Alright, there's Big 8 Mythical at this zone. I need to take him down. Well, there was. I'm not going to change time again for him. I whiffed that hard. I hit him. Hopefully, no, that's not good. That's not good. It's really not good. That was a 300. I expected even if we hit them bad, they'd go down, but not the case. There's still not hunting pressure here. There it is. You know, I've actually considered going back to the Hyperion because I think it, like, I've used that scope literally for so long that it's ingrained in me how to use it, and the Odin is amazing, but it's like, I don't know, man. It's almost like I've never gotten the true hang of the Odin. Okay, where's this muley at? Or this wolf at? I might do that, just to see. Now I may be like in that weird space where I'm kind of used to the Odin, so the Hyperion won't be that great. That's how I get, no joke, whenever I transition from mouse and keyboard to controller. It's actually a hard transition. It's weird. I get warmed up. But not the other way around. And I've been using a controller all my life. It's weird. Alright, so there you go. Moral of the story is don't miss by Lorgan shots. Wolves are shockingly tough. I mean, like I said, this was a 300 mag. Dude still got enough oomph to run over mountains. Apparently. He had to have gone the other direction. He had to have gone this way. Unless I was on the right track, he did in fact circle back. I don't know, man. He is too on your perks is to have recoil management if you don't already. That helps a lot. Yeah, it takes some warming up, especially this game because there's no aim assist. We're falling off a mountain. Bye, four-wheeler. I think it exploded. Oh, that was rather unfortunate. Question is, can I get back up said mountain? I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. About time. Okay. So that's why we shot through his fur, basically. weird. Maybe it's a time thing? I don't know. Night vision's not very good in this game, not gonna lie. Wish they would have went with thermals. Would have been way much better choice. In my humble opinion. The original night vision scope in the game, I think, is actually better than the angler. In fact, I might switch to it. Not sure where the wolves are. I do not. I'd like to know how in the world that 300 didn't kill that wolf. Are you kidding me? Did he somehow make it across before the other ones did? He's dead. What the heck, man? mean, maybe he turned last second or something. I didn't notice when I pulled the trigger, but I really am curious where this bullet hit that it didn't just annihilate this wolf. That's wild to me. Dude, I don't even think mule deer run this far and you shoot him this bad. Like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, this is the zone that's got the 4 in it. I'm gonna come back here and see if that level 8's back. Well, I guess I'm gonna continue the grind here. not leaving empty-handed. I need to change it over though to mule deer drink time. It is kind of exciting though, like knowing that wolves now can become great ones, and so it's like, man, who knows? I'd laugh. I'm gonna laugh if my wolf spawns before the mule deer. Oh, no way. No way. It's another egg white. Are you kidding me? You ruined it. But hey, it's a rare, man. Rares are rare. Let's freaking go. Problem is at night, I can't really, tell what fur type they are. That's why I should probably shoot everything with the 30-06 or 308 going forward. Just in case, That's rare number 2 of the grind. Meanwhile, I still only have 6 rares. Actually, that's not true. I got my 7th rare off stream. Shot that albino mule deer. Meanwhile, I've shot maybe 30 wolves. That was a one-off too. I should be shooting mule deer right now. I don't know what I'm doing. Getting carried away. Absolutely, it's a rare. Let's go. You know what else I'm going to try? I'm going to swap out for the Hyperion. Just to see. Throwback Wednesday. Dudes are gonna make me change time. Guess what the heck is going on here? Howdy, howdy. Yeah, the OG night vision scope is far superior in clarity to the new Angler, but the Angler's got way better zoom. I'd rather have the zoom. Yeah, if it's like close to their drink time, and you come across their drink zone, maybe. Otherwise, no. There's the intruder. I was gonna say all those guys came back as twos. Good news is wolves are worth a ton of money. Another thing, if I had the zones for it, I could technically incorporate. Really, there's all kinds of great ones on ASCII Ridge. It's insane. Bear, moose, whitetail, wolf, mule deer, pheasant. Now, are they any good for those particular species? I mean, yeah, for mule deer. Wolves is pretty good. Jury's out on moose, whitetail, and pheasant. I don't know. In comparison, Saltzweizen, any map I think is a nightmare for pheasant. Night hunting is something you got to do long enough, because I hated it for the longest time. You got to do it long, and that's still, obviously, it's not my premier choice. But I'm also like okay with it now. You know, I've done it so long. Thanks to Fox. Fox is what got me kind of like okay with night hunting. Now with feeders, you know, there's potential technically, theoretically, where you could, like, if you got it set up right, I mean, you could set up your own little great one grind wherever you wanted, and maybe at night, depending on the species, you know, that could be a way to do it. Thinking tar. Oh, I didn't mean to exit. It's alright. I'm going to change time, switch over to wolves. Oh, dang it, I did it again. So used to just grinding the mule deer. Yeah, that's weird. no. He's still alive. We'll restart that one. What are you hunting right now, Kennedy? Because sometimes if that's an actual solo, like if you're hunting anything but like wolves, I don't know. Solo wolf zone's weird, but any other species, that would tell me that yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I got the scoundrel. Finally. Now, I will say, now, I don't know, night vision is okay-ish, but you don't necessarily need it. But if you don't have night vision, hunting at night can be frustrating. I could see where that's no bueno. $1,600 is a pretty penny. I'm gonna get gored by one of these guys. They're already aggressive. Either the males haven't respawned yet, or they're in a different group. I almost wonder if the wolves work sort of like bears. see what's up with all the sixes. I should probably check other lakes for wolves, because I probably do have something interesting hanging out at them. Still don't want to quite give up on mule deer yet, but at the same time, man, almost 3,000 kills, kind of over them at this point. Curious about this zone. Alright, seemingly nothing here. All right, so zeroed for 150. 250 to 270 is his range. I'm aiming high to compensate for said range. Bullet drop should have put that darn near double long, if not heart shot. Wounded him. Wolves wonky? Or something wrong with the parry 308? It basically happened again. That time, though, the wolf turned right when I pulled the trigger. Maybe that happened. Well, no, it didn't happen. Watch the recording. I have no idea what happened to that first shot. I'm just going to... Constellation prize. We're going to shoot that guy. Hopefully come across his level 8 friend. That's a 5. Where the heck did that 8 go? Please, come on. Where's your level 8 friend at? I shot him. Either way, though, positionally, where that wolf was like, the 30-06 should have just blew him away. I don't know, man. He's still not down. He might not die. FPS is back. Kind of play it cool, see if maybe this guy returns or gets in an area that I can actually see him. I'm just shocked that didn't kill him, and that's the second time in a row that didn't happen. mean, I hear you there, and whenever I get my great one muley and taking a hot break. I don't know, the wolf grind's pretty fun. If I were to dedicate time to it, it'd be even more fun. I can't believe that guy's not down. Where the heck did he end up? Must be something in the way there. Big grouse. Nice. I still don't have a diamond rock ptarmigan. Dude, feeders on Silver Ridge Peaks, I bet would be hyper lethal. That map's so open. You're just gonna hope that guy died and doesn't throw the grind off and do some weird things. These guys like to swap zones. Those dudes weren't there before. It's alright, FPS. I've only got about half an hour left anyway on the stream. It's about 1 or 2 more run-throughs. Yeah, sometimes it can get a little frustrating. Why'd I miss that, honestly? Gonna do this the old school way. Got him. honestly didn't want to risk wounding it and chasing it down forever. Wolves are pretty stout. Oh dang. If you're trying to herd manage and shoot down your exterior zones, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But with wolves, I don't know, man. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for this evening. We do have a rare to put in the trophy lodge, and I think I'm going to put it in the grinding lodge. Maybe. Should I start a wolf lodge? We'll see. I may start gradually replacing mule deer, but put them here. Or right there. All right, folks. I think the next time we're on, we may explore those feeders and see how good they are. I don't know. We'll see. That being said, I really appreciate everybody stopping by. It was fun kind of splitting those two apart. Obviously, kind of slowed the progress of both, but it was fun, you know, kind of breaking them up. I don't know. I hope that mule deer spawns soon. Appreciate everybody stopping by, and we'll see you guys on the next one.